Hey, what's up everyone, Morey Croson here, and today we're going to be breaking down Patrick Mahomes' wrist flick, and we'll start the video right now. I just did a video on Aaron Rodgers and his wrist flick. I think he has one of the best wrist flicks in the game. I also think that Patrick Mahomes is just able to do and make some incredible throws, and so what we want to be able to do is just take a look at what he's doing with his hands, what he's doing with the wrist, be able to understand how he is able to accomplish some of this just so then we can apply it. Some of the things that I always end up looking at where we want to be able to have our hands, our fingers, our grip in order to throw the ball as far as possible. I know when we watch Aaron Rodgers, I'm a little bit more similar to him in where I have my pinky a little bit further out, right? But you can see he has a good amount of separation. I'm almost like halfway between both. Aaron Rodgers, I think he has bigger hands than me, so my index finger is a lot higher than my other three fingers, similar to what Patrick Mahomes is doing. What we do want to be able to see is that as he's loading it, and this is common for everybody that we see able to throw the ball far, is he's able to maintain a really strong position within the wrist. A lot of times I see guys with the nose of the football go a little bit more either straight back, maybe slightly behind, where it seems like he's holding the football going more downwards, okay? And you can see where he's at with his elbow, right? He's got a ton of external rotation there in his arm, okay? And so what that does is that gives him the opportunity to now be able to get back on top of the ball as he's finishing. What we want to be able to see is, how he's initially rotating, right? So we talk a lot about that. The importance of first creating rotation in the football and using that rotation to then create a great amount of external rotation within the arm, right? This one on the left, he doesn't create as much external rotation. He's not trying to throw the ball as far, right? But we can see that he is very diligent in creating a lot of rotation within the throw and really utilizes just like full amounts of rotation to be able to get all the way around. And he does have a bit of a time period, it looks like here on the right, where he does get the nose of the football to come upwards, right? But we can see this one on the left where he's throwing to the side, where he's really just creating full rotation as he's releasing the throw. Keeps the ball more downward during his load, and then just rotates, creates external rotation in the elbow, and uses that to flick the football. What's important here is where is the wrist as the ball comes out of the hand, right? Because what we want to be able to get consistent is figure out how to get your hand into this position as you're releasing, right? So see how he's driving with the elbow as well as with the hand, as well as with the wrist, so then he can sync up everything. So as the ball comes out of his hand, it ends up being a flick forward instead of a push. Okay, so we don't want to be pushing the ball, we want to be flicking the ball through. This one knows the football all the way up, okay, pinky all the way up, knuckle all the way up, and then from here, drives the elbow, gets that wrist on top, okay, and then comes through from there, or rotates. Okay, and so this ends up being why understanding just the positioning of how you're holding the football really makes a big difference, and how you load the football makes a big difference. From here, this one, he gets to this position. This one, he gets to this position. Okay, maybe we'll go a little bit further. Okay, so we see the nose of the football here, right, in comparison to the nose of the football here. Okay, and then from here, he turns to get it around. So he's coming up and through the football there, okay? And so being able to understand how to be able to get to that position, right? We'll see another one here. Okay, this is going to be more of a loft on the ball, right? But you can see how good of a job he does in being able to get that elbow through, how good of a job he does keeping that hand away from his shoulder, right? And that's where he creates the arm strength. That's why he has the success that he has. So what happens when you get further into the throw, it's harder to be able to generate the same type of rotation, because now you want to be able to create a faster rotation within the arm. You want to open up more with that front shoulder, right? So even when I'll go back into this, right? So we'll see this video here where he's throwing the ball 62 miles an hour, right? Look at how open he is with that front shoulder, right? How bent over to the side he is, how much he's like sinking into it. He looks like a pitcher here as he's releasing the ball, okay? And then he's coming up over the top. But still, he's coming up over the top right there, right? So that ends up being the thing, is like he's getting such good position that now he could generate a ton, he could use all these muscles down here. And that's what I'm trying to help you guys do, because to me, you know, like the lower body is critical. Obviously, we need to be able to understand how to shift our weight from our back leg onto the front leg, how to be able to stabilize within the front leg, and I've made a bunch of videos about that, right? But that is a little bit easier to teach. Okay, I think that as a quarterback coach, right, and being able to teach mechanics and how much I've been doing it for the past 5-6 years, I don't think there's anybody better than me that can really improve your throw, and you know, especially in person, right? Like if you come in and I work with you in person, you're going to see a lot of improvements by just being able to understand some of these key concepts, right? So being able to feel them out. But even online, right? Being able to send in video and me being able to break it down and do the same thing, really, right? Be able to give you the opportunity to educate yourself, understand what it is that you are doing in comparison to what you should be doing, right? Going over the drills, going over the exercises, because if you can really start getting the drills down, then you can make the changes, okay? That ends up being the biggest thing, is people being able to understand the drills, which is why now I have you actually send in video of you doing the drills in order to make it so you can make a change.